outside? Should I run and hide? How do I take my company worldwide? Do you love the law? Did you watch Hee-Haw? What's the weirdest thing that you ever saw? What's it like in court? Favorite sport? Can you help with my book report? Is my hair too long? Am I right or wrong? And do you mind if I sing along to anything? Ask Alan anything in the world.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Ask Alan. I'm Alan Crone, the CEO of the Crone Law Firm, and I've got a very special guest with me today. I'm very excited to talk to Debbie Litch, who's the Executive Director of Theatre Memphis. And those of you who are longtime Memphians know Theatre Memphis. It's been our flagship community theater for a long time, going back to the Pink Palace days. I can remember going to Theatre Memphis in the old swimming pool of the Pink Palace when that was the theater, and they've got a lovely facility now. So Debbie, thank you for joining us on the show.
Well, Alan, thank you so much for having me and letting us talk about Theatre Memphis.
Well, very good. You know, I'm a former theater major. I didn't graduate as a theater major, but I met my wife doing musical theater and community theater in Arkansas. So Theatre Memphis always had a very warm spot in my heart. How'd you get to Theatre Memphis?
Well, that's an interesting story. I've always been interested in theater. I love musical theater and had started singing at an early age, and then just became involved in my community's theater programs as far as in high school, as well as other outside endeavors. So again, led to college, and as my parents said, you know, please, you can pursue your theater and your music, but please have something that you can fall back on just in the case. So I majored in mathematics and thought I would teach or do other things, but then minored in English and theater. And so fortunately, both have proven to be part of what I do today. But then my roads led to teaching, but then also to theaters in Florida, then a cruise ship. Actually, that's where I met my husband 42 years ago, and which led me to Memphis, Tennessee, and became involved in the community. And then, of course, always passionate about theater, sought out Theatre Memphis. And then about 19 years ago, I've been here 18, but 19 years ago, they came knocking on the door to see if I might be interested in this position, even though I had been on the board of directors and the executive committee of Theatre Memphis and had done a couple of things on stage.
Well, tell me why you think that, you know, in 2022, with all of the various media outlets and, you know, all of the things competing for our attention, what is important about community theater specifically?
Well, I think live theater is vitally important. There's no experience like it because you are right there in the moment. If you're sitting as far as an audience member, interesting things can happen. No two performances are alike. The energy that you receive from these amazingly talented people and just can lift your spirits, but also at the same time enrich your life, as well as can begin to have you think about things that a different perspective than you would have otherwise. So that's what we try to do at Theatre Memphis by programming a ballot season. So again, I just think it's very, very important from the performer standpoint. I think that it's great. As you know, we do have an amazing pool of great talent in this community, and we have always been fortunate to be able to showcase that talent, even though these people may not be professionals as far as earning a living through this, but they definitely are professional as far as their standards. And they not only learn the technique of theater, but they also gain confidence by learning how to speak clearly, distinctly, and project. They also get to work as a team, build self-esteem. So there are just so many things, life lessons that you can learn through theater and by coming together and being a part of a special production.
All right, I'm going to put you on the spot with a couple questions. What's your favorite musical?
Oh, do you have about 3 hours and I can list all of them, but I do, I love musicals. I can't name just one because again, there are just so many varieties, but I feel like that a musical that I love classic musicals, but I also like many of our contemporary musicals that have been written in the last 15, 20 years that are so clever. So again, I just can't name just one because I do have too many favorites. The same with the plays. That's what I love about being able to go and sit in a seat and be, again, entertained, enriched, and educated. So again, I just love all theater. Now, there might be a few that I don't care for, but the fact is as long as they have done and presented and produced the show well, I truly do appreciate all forms and all genres of theater.
Yeah, it's hard to not have a good time if it's done well.
And that's our goal, Alan, at Theatre Memphis. And again, we don't take it for granted because it's just truly one show at a time, but artistic excellence in a consistent manner. Because again, not everyone is going to love every single show, whether it be a musical or a play. But as long as they can come away and said, it is presented well, the acting was great, the production values were outstanding, then that's what we look to achieve.
Well, y'all certainly have tremendous facilities at Theatre Memphis, and I know that you recently renovated and made some improvements out there that have a lot of us may not know about because of the pandemic and so forth. Talk a little bit about that.
Well, about 3 years ago or 3.5 years ago, we started looking toward our 100th anniversary season, which is taking place right now during our 21-22 season. And one of the goals and one of the dreams that we had was that we would upgrade this fabulous facility, but it opened in 1975 and there were many things that just needed to be improved. After 46 years, everybody might need a little facelift. So we started talking and we selected our contractor and did a design build, then selected our architect. So it started, and I say this and I get a laugh every time in front of the audience, but it did really start with needing to add restrooms, because when we're at capacity, which is 411 seats, our intermissions were just so long because we only had 8 restrooms, and now we've increased that to 21. But also we wanted to make sure that we added more space, that we brought everything up to ADA standards. We had a lower level, and so we brought everything up so we wouldn't have to battle stairs. We added a south corridor, which gave the actual lobby space symmetry. We've added a porte-cochere so people can pull up and be able to get out easily. So again, it's just, and then I said, it's going to be functional, it's going to meet the ADA requirements, but it also can be attractive and pretty. And so we just hope that we've brought it up to the 21st century and come a long way since those days in that swimming pool at the Pink Palace, which of course began in 1929. But then again, we were wandering minstrels and in stables downtown during those first 8 years, actually.
Right. And how about backstage?
Backstage, we actually added another scenic shop so that this way we could build a set. And when we were doing something on our Lorry main stage, and then just roll it in once we completed our strike. So that has helped our efficiency, but we gave upgrades to all of the offices and all of the rehearsal hall space and painted. And then we were able to add LED lighting throughout the entire facility. And again, just adding to efficiency and saving money on those utility bills.
Sure. That's great. Well, what can we go see this year so that we can enjoy the facility and enjoy a great performance? What is Theatre
Well,
Memphis?
right now we have 1 week left of a fabulous fun show, La Cage à Faux, which of course is the musical. Jerry Herman wrote the music, who also wrote Hello Dolly and Mame. And it will be through March 27th, this Sunday. And we did bring it back after producing it 12 years ago. Then after this, Cicada, which is an original play by a former Memphian, Jerry Dye, and for the first time, he will be directing it. So that will take place in April. The end of April, just a great classic comedy. You can't take it with you. And then that just fabulous, touching musical Ragtime at the end of this season. And then we've already have all of our shows in place, even for the 22-23 season, which kicks off with Guys and Dolls in August.
Well, very, very good. I'll have to find the best moving crap game in Memphis.
There you go.
Yeah, to go along with that. So it sounds like that, at least on the main stage, you're, I won't say heavily doing musicals, but you've got a lot of musicals in that lineup.
We do. We always try to open and close our seasons with musicals in order to sell season tickets, but also to kick off each of those seasons. Usually, and right now we are producing the musical in March, which is usually the case, but next year decided not to do a musical because we were able to get the rights to The Play That Goes Wrong. And it is a huge, huge comedy that has been a major hit in London as well as in New York. But the set is so crucial to the entire story that it is the same as producing a musical. So it is going to go into that March slot. But we do usually produce 3 to 4 musicals a year. And then the other 6, 7 shows are comedies, dramas. And then, of course, we always do our December Christmas Carol, which of course has become a holiday tradition and favorite of our Memphis and Mid-South community.
Yeah, I can't imagine Christmas in Memphis without a Christmas Carol at Theatre Memphis. You're absolutely right about The Play That Goes Wrong. It is, particularly if you're a theater buff, you know, there's a lot of inside jokes in it about theater and how plays are produced and whatnot, and it's one of my daughter's favorites. She loves The Play That Goes Wrong. Tell us about how intricate the set is.
Well, again, it is a show that takes place in a community theater, and it's all of the antics and what it takes to put on a show, but then things just go awry, and sometimes that happens. And not only from the actors and not being on stage at the right time, but also the set begins falling down. And again, we have such an outstanding artistic production design team that I felt like that even though it's a huge undertaking, that if there's any local theater that can produce that show and be able to do it well, it's Theatre Memphis. And so fortunately, I shared that thought with my team, and they said, we'll try it, but can we put it in this March musical slot? And I said, absolutely.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I'm looking forward to that. So that's March. Is that March?
That's March of 23.
Yeah. Because I can't believe it. We're almost done with March of 2022. It's amazing, isn't it?
And in fact, we've been celebrating all year, but we will actually have a major celebration on our birthday, May the 20th. We, of course, 2021 was our 100th, but since we were still in that pandemic, we tiptoed in and had a little birthday party, but we're doing a grand 1920s, putting on the glitz on that Friday, the 20th. So we're glad that we've been able to celebrate this milestone and that we can conclude this celebration on our actual birthday.
Well, there are not many institutions that last 100 years. And what do you chalk up Theatre Memphis longevity and persistence to?
Well, I guess it is persistence, determination, but I really say because it's a community theater and it's always been that way from the moment it started as a little theater downtown in May 20th of 1921. It's been our community, it's been our volunteers that have been that consistent denominator that we have needed in order to be able to continue on. And I will say that we have the most outstanding professional, artistic, as well as administrative staff. But we are so proud that we have throughout the course of each year over 700 volunteers that come and share their talents on the stage as well as off stage and behind the scenes. So I do believe that has been the key, as well as just people passionate about theater. And of course, it's changed over the years, just like your first question. You know, there's so much competition vying for our attention and our dollars. So we want to stay relevant, but we also want to make sure that we deliver a great product on our stages, as well as making impressions, as well as presentations to our young people throughout the community through our outreach education program too.
Sure. Debbie, what are some opportunities if somebody is watching this and would like to get involved with Theatre Memphis? What are the opportunities and what should they do to do that?
Well, number one, if they're interested in even auditioning, we of course have all of that on our website, as well as volunteering backstage. We of course have several volunteers who work in the shop. And again, you don't have to be handy with a saw or know how to build things. There are our particular staff just loves working with novices, as well as those who love woodworking. We also design and make our own costumes, as well as there are different events to help plan, ushering for each of the shows, of which you can come to see the shows free of charge. So again, we have something for everyone and can fit their interest or their passion. So, and again, if they don't have any idea that they even could act or could work backstage, we want to take the opportunity to nurture them and see if this is something that they would love to do.
So we're gonna put up your website on this broadcast, and what, for those maybe just listening, what's your website address?
It's www.Theatre Memphis, and that's theater with an R-E, Memphis.org, O-R-G.
Very good. So visit that, and let me just give a little bit of an unsolicited endorsement. As I said, I was involved in high school and college and community theater, and a little bit after I started practicing law, although practicing law and doing a show can be incompatible as far as time goes, but there is nothing as fulfilling as being in a show, even if it's just a bit part where you're walking on and off stage, just being part of that company. It can be just a wonderful experience, far beyond the performing, getting to know people and creating something that is bigger than the sum of the parts it's made of. And you're doing a great work. They're not just presenting the shows, but as you say, giving people an opportunity to be part of that creative process. And do you have, again, I don't want to put you on the spot, but do you have any stories of folks that have come through and been transformed in some way, even if it's just on a personal level, kind of a success story of some of your volunteers?
Well, I do, and he has given me permission to share this before, but actually a performer who is in Lacage right now and just finished directing our American Son, which was just an amazing drama on our next stage back in February. But Jared Johnson decided that he wanted to explore probably 15, 20 years ago, theater, because he'd always been on the sidelines and interested in it, but never really had an opportunity. And so he came and he auditioned, but he did not get the part, but someone else saw him at an audition and encouraged him to audition for another show, and he did. And again, something that had never been part of his life. And then at that moment, once he was cast in a show, as you said, in a smaller ensemble role, he decided that he wanted to learn everything that he could learn about this, whether it be just being a great ensemble member, being a featured person in the show. He wanted to direct someday. He wanted to choreograph someday. And here it is, 15, 18 years later, and he's accomplished those goals, and again is one of our just star board members and on the executive committee. And I can't say enough wonderful things about him, but it transformed his life, and in so many ways, not only just to pursue an avocation, but it has helped contribute to his vocation as well.
Yeah, so that's a great story, and it's illustrative of the fact that people just shouldn't be intimidated. You know, it sounds intimidating, to be in a play and audition and all those things, but just step through the fourth wall and do it. And I think you'd be surprised how a lot of people would be much better than they think at that sort of thing.
Absolutely. And they're going to enjoy it. And I cannot begin to tell you how supportive theater people are of each other. And they want to encourage, and they want people to grow, and they want to be a part of that process. And truly, we bring people together that probably would never know each other otherwise. And so to me, I look at not only this as a community theater, but I look at us as a community center where we do bring a diverse community together in order to produce something, as you said, bigger than we are, and which is very, very important, I think, as we all continue on this life journey and continue to grow.
Well, Debbie, that is such a beautiful sentiment. I'm going to leave it at that. That was a great message for us now and for a long time to come. Debbie, I sure appreciate your time. This has been a great talk. I'm looking forward to the next season of Theatre Memphis. And who knows, maybe I'll check out the website. Maybe I'll audition for something.
Well, I'm going to be looking for you. I may hold you to it.
All right. Well, if you got a part for a big 6'7" guy with a loud, deep voice, let me know, because that would be typecasting.
Sounds like Guys and Dolls to me.
All right, Debbie. Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody watching. Please support Theatre Memphis. Check out their website. Go to a show. Make a donation. It's a great part of our community that's been part of the fabric of our community for 100 years. Hopefully, for another 100 years and beyond in the future. And it's your theater, so use it. Debbie is going to go entertain the Mid-South, and I'm going to go get some justice. So thank you all very much, and we'll see you next time on Ask Al.